My name is Flores and I am the Everyday Educator. Today's video is a little bit different from what I normally do because it's all about pumping. And I'm not talking about pumping iron. I'm talking about pumping, the kind that a nursing mother does. So if you are an expectant mother, you've got a bun in the oven. If you're somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody that might potentially nurse one day in the future while they're at work, this is a video for you. Backstory before I dive in. So I'm a first-time mom, and my baby boy is the most adorable, squishy, chubby little thing, and I love him more than anything. And so I was working from home, and I could nurse him whenever I needed to. But now that I'm working back in a physical building, it's a little bit more difficult, and I'm having to leave milk for the babysitter so that she's able to give him nourishment while I'm away. And so, because I don't have a stash, I got to the point that I was pumping today what he's going to drink tomorrow. And that caused me to feel stressed, and I wasn't having enough output, and I just felt like I wasn't going to be able to provide for him what he needed. And so, I really dug deep, did some research, talked to a few of my best mom friends, and figured out a plan for what am I going to do to effectively pump while I'm at work and make sure my kid gets fed. So, I'm going to give you today the tips that help me be successful in pumping while at work. Before you can really start pumping at work, you have to let your bosses know so that way they are able to lend you that support. And so a lot of women, they like to pump every 3 to 4 hours. So you might say, hey, boss lady, I'm going to be pumping from starting at 8 a.m. I'm going to pump again at noon and one more time at 3 p.m. And at your place of business, they might have a dedicated pumping room, or they might have some closet somewhere that's spacious and it has a lock on it. And maybe you have a classroom or an office of your own. But it's important to let whoever you report to, let them know that I am going to be pumping and I am not to be disturbed during these times, please. And if anybody tries to say anything, this is a law. If you're in the United States, at least, this is a law that you're entitled to have uninterrupted time to express milk as frequently as your body needs it. So this is your right, you're entitled to it, but you just have to do the courtesy of letting your bosses know why you're locked in your room for 45 minutes. All right? For your door, you need some type of a sign that lets others know, do not disturb me, or things are going to get really awkward. And so for me, whenever I first started pumping, I put up a sign that said, do not disturb. And that was it. It just said, do not disturb. People still disturbed me, like a lot. And they tried to wiggle the handle to my classroom. They tried to get in, knocking. Some of them talked, tried to look through the windows. It was so awkward. So I'm telling you, do not disturb just won't cut it because people are still going to disturb you. So depending on where you work, there are plenty of signs online that you can just download the PDF and just print it out. But depending on where you work, find a sign that makes sense. So one of the signs that I had used in the past, it said, do not disturb, do not knock or call because Mama Bear is at work. And that's something that lets adults know, hey, she's doing something behind there. We're not going to disturb her. But at the same time, since I work at a school, kids that are walking down the hallway, though they won't really know what Mama Bear at work, they wouldn't really put it together. What does that mean? And so another example of a sign that I saw in someone's store at the school that I worked at, it's just, I could say, do not disturb, Mama Bear at work. One of them said, things are about to get really awkward if you walk through that door. And I mean, I've even seen ones that have literal cows on the front that said milking in process. Like, you have to get creative with it, but pick a sign that lets people know, don't come in because it's going to get real awkward. You have to set the stage and set the mood in the room so that you can have a productive output. And so, something that I learned when I first started pumping at work, I wish somebody would have told me this, but I kind of had to just go through it myself. But I would send emails while I was pumping or answer calls, or I would do work and look at spreadsheets and everything while I was pumping. And I noticed that I wasn't really getting a lot of output in the bottles after I was done pumping, and I couldn't figure out why. But it's because I was working straight through my entire pumping session. And so then I realized, well, maybe I'll try something different because I'm not getting enough output and I need my kid to eat tomorrow. So let's try something different. So what I ended up doing was getting, for my classroom, I got some lamps, I got some plants, I got a little oil diffuser, and I put some relaxing, calming oils through the air. And then I put a lot of photos of my baby in my classroom. And then I also had my phone ready to go with videos so I could hear him and see him moving around. And so I decided to stop working while I'm pumping, and I had a relaxing environment full of baby photos, and it gave me this really great emotion and a smile from within, and all the good hormones were released. And then I started having a much better output from just that change. So then I decided, from here on out, I'm going to do my best to not work while I pump, because do the people on the other end of that email, are they going to feed your baby? Are the people that are waiting for a phone call from you, are they going to feed your baby? Is anybody in that entire building that you're working in going to feed your baby? No, didn't think so. Because they're not, they can wait. Your little baby at home needs you, needs the milk, and so that's a priority. And so that's what got me thinking, they can wait, you can wait, and so can you. My baby needs me right now. So for the next half hour, I'm full on baby mode. And, at first I felt guilty because I was like, no, like the emails. Man, no. My baby is what is important here, not the emails. They can wait. I guarantee if I don't answer it right now, it's still going to be there in 20 minutes whenever I check my inbox. So, pump exclusively. Take that time to relax, to breathe, to focus on videos and photos of your baby. Do things that make you happy and chill and relaxed and completely, as you gotta minimize the stress. That way you'll have a very productive output and it'll be a great session. Another way that you can make sure that you are ready to pump at work is you got to dress for success. And so I'll share a personal story with you. I wore dresses all the time pre-baby. So I thought, I'll just wear them post-baby too. And I did, until that awkward day came when it was time to pump and I was in a dress. And in order to have access to pump, I had to remove the entire dress. And so I'm literally sitting in my pumping room, no dress, just sitting there pumping away. And I get a knock at the door. I forgot to lock the door, so I'm panicking, literally start sweating. And I'm like, if somebody walks in right now, I don't even know what I'm going to do. So take it from me. I've already lived it, already been embarrassed, and I've already made these mistakes. So you don't have to. If you're going to wear a dress at work, make sure that it has some type of easy access. And so what I mean by that is having zippers, maybe it's like a button down, so that way you don't have to remove the whole thing and sit there awkwardly in your room pumping with nothing on. Make sure that you don't commit that same error. And if you're going to wear different types of cute tops like this one, it zips halfway down. And so that's easy access for me to be able to pump. You can wear button downs. You can wear like actual nursing shirts. If you have nursing shirts, you can wear those too. But wear something that has easy access so that it doesn't turn into an awkward moment with just you and your bottles in the room. One thing I do recommend purchasing is a specific pumping bra so that way you can be hands free wherever you are. And so it's just regular, just basic black, and then it's a nursing bra as well, so I can snap this off and then feed the baby, snap it back on, totally cool. What I like about it is that on the inside it has like layers, and so I can open this up, put my little bottle in like this, and it kind of holds it by itself. And so now I can be completely hands-free. If I want to scroll on my phone and check out all the photos of my baby while I'm pumping, I can do that because I'm hands-free. And so it's really, really, really useful because if you don't have this, you can still pump, but you have to actually hold the pump in your hand and hold the bottle in your hand, and then it takes a lot longer because now you're doing one side at a time, and it's going to take you 20 to 30 minutes times two versus having your hands free. Then you can pump. You can do, it's called double pump, so you can have both going at the same exact time and do it in a half hour, 20 minutes, and you're done. So I definitely recommend searching on Amazon. You can get these in Target, anywhere that sells baby things. Sorry, mom things. You can find one of these special type of tops for nursing and for pumping. So if you don't have one, it's going to make your life a lot easier. Go buy one. Now, you're at work. You already took the time to pump. You got out the milk you're going to have for the day, and now the only thing left is to store it. So one thing that you want to make sure you do is pack a cooler that has a ton of ice packs, or if you don't have ice packs because you forgot to freeze it the night before, I've done that so many times. Just get like a quart-sized bag and just fill it up with ice and put that in your lunchbox. And then get two of those and then just put your little bags of milk, put that in between the two ice pouches, and then your milk will be fine till you get home. Because there's a certain amount of time that you can leave it out on the counter and it'll be safe. Certain amount of time you can leave it in the refrigerator and it'll be safe. And there's a certain amount of time that you can freeze it and it'll be safe. So make sure you're cooling it in some way. Or if you feel comfortable with this, a lot of places of business have freezers that are kind of like community freezers with a fridge on the bottom that you can use. And so if you're comfortable, you could just pop your milk in a freezer. And I know some people aren't comfortable with that. And so what you can do instead is just get yourself kind of like a really sturdy Tupperware container and then label it as yours and only yours, and then put your milk in it, but and freeze it. But what I do recommend that if you are going to put it in a freezer, or even if it's like a mini fridge in someone's room, always put it towards the back. Never put it in the door because the door is constantly opening and shutting and opening and shutting. And so it's just a really inconsistent temperature. And so for your milk to be as safe as possible for consumption, you want to make sure that it's in the back of the freezer and it is untouched. So one other thing that I recommend for pumping at work is that you have to have multiple pump parts available. And so what do I mean by that? I just bought this new pump. The brand is Medela. It's one of the Medela pump and styles. And so I literally got this weekend. And I'm actually, I'm going to do a video comparison of the Medela brand and the Spectra brand because I've used them both. And I actually decided that I really prefer Medela. Anyway, that's a video for a different day. But you want to make sure that you have multiple parts. And so if you're in a place that does not have a sink and that doesn't have somewhere for you to honestly go in with a bottle brush and clean everything detailed, then you need to have another clean set, a complete set that's clean that you can use for your next pumping session. And so for me, whenever I have my pumping bottles, I always buy an additional set. So this set came with it, and so I'm gonna go actually and purchase, because I already have the bottles, so I'm gonna go purchase this comes apart. So I'm gonna purchase this section and then also this as well. And so that way I kind of have extra, because it's really hard to clean this and do a good job cleaning it when you don't have a sink. And they sell wipes, but it's not the same. It's just not the same level of cleanliness, and I don't feel like they're as effective. So if you're going to pump at work, you need to have at least 2 sets of bottles that are complete with the flange and all the goodies that come inside. That way you can have a productive pumping session that is clean and sanitary. And of course, don't forget that at nighttime, whenever you get home from work, you must clean and boil the bottles and all of the pump parts and everything that comes inside. You have to boil all of this to make sure that it is as clean and sanitary as possible, so that you're not giving your baby dirty, bacteria filled milk at the end of the day. So I know it's going to be a little bit of a cost up front, but it's better for you to pay the cost of getting extra sets of bottles now than for you to pay a doctor bill later because your baby had infected, bacteria riddled milk that caused him or her to be very, very sick. So, like I said, it's a cost up front, but it's going to be worth it for you. For the duration of this video, I have been like slinging these things around and like playing with them, so like whatever. But I want to let you know that I am always learning new things from others. So maybe there's a tip that I didn't mention that will help me be successful as well. And so if you have other tips, please leave them in the comments below. I want to hear what you think as well. And so, as always, if you like this video, if it helped you learn anything at all, please like it and share it with somebody that you think will benefit. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I'll see you next time.